Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow now. Let's get started. Former TLC's Counting on star Jill Dillard revealed to fans that she is still processing her brother Josh Duggar's sentencing. She gave fans a peek into her life as she works through this difficult time. Keep reading to get all of the details. On Wednesday, May 25, Josh was sentenced to 12 years behind bars for his child pornography crimes. Following his sentencing, Jill and her husband, Dillard, issued a statement. They say that they still love Josh, but believe that justice was served. On her Instagram page shortly after Josh Duggar's sentencing, Jill shared a snap with fans. The photo features a warm drink in her hand as she's surrounded by boxes. She and her family of 4 recently moved to a new home. In her post, Jill writes, "Been pretty much staying away from caffeine these days, but today called for a warm cup of vanilla tea with honey and cream in one of my favorite mugs while I tried to busy myself with all the settling into a new place things. Lots of unpacking, paperwork, repairs, and trying to distract myself, plus waves of processing to do." In response to Jill Dillard's new post, Duggar fans are sharing positive words with her. They hope that she's doing okay, and they're happy to see her taking time for herself and working through this in a healthy way. One of Jill's followers says, "Take your time, girl. Trauma is often weird to process, but you take care of you and yours." Someone else sweetly says, "Take care of yourself, Jill. I'm sure that it's been an overwhelming year so far. Sending lots of love to you and your little family." Others are sharing similar comments and encouraging Jill Dillard however they can. Though this is a challenging time for Jill, it looks like she is working through it and is supported by many friends, family members, and friends who care about her. The Duggar family has always presented a tightly knit, faith-centered image, but that image has been severely tested in recent years, particularly by the criminal actions of Josh Duggar, the eldest of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's 19 children. In 2021, Josh was convicted of possessing and receiving child pornography, a devastating blow not only to his victims, but also to his family, including his sister Jill Duggar Dillard. The scandal rocked the family, especially given previous abuse allegations involving Josh. Now, in the aftermath of his sentencing to more than 12 years in prison, Jill has begun to speak openly about her emotional journey, sharing the challenges of reconciling family loyalty with her personal values and healing from years of trauma. Jill, who, along with her husband Dillard, has increasingly distanced herself from the Duggar family's strict lifestyle and its influence, has been forthright about her need to process Josh's sentencing. She acknowledged feeling an odd mix of relief and sadness, relief because a measure of justice was served, but sadness because of the pain Josh's actions have inflicted on his own family and the Duggar family at large. In a heartfelt social media post, Jill shared her thoughts on the sentencing, writing that it marked the end of a painful chapter, but not necessarily the beginning of total healing. Processing this situation has been anything but straightforward for Jill. As one of Josh's victims, Jill has endured a particularly complex relationship with her brother. His actions and the way her family handled them had far-reaching effects on her mental and emotional well-being. By opening up about her struggle to process her feelings, Jill has allowed fans to understand the complicated emotions behind maintaining familial loyalty and navigating personal trauma. In recent years, Jill has spoken candidly about her journey toward emotional healing, including her decision to seek therapy. She admitted that, for a long time, mental health treatment was stigmatized within her community, making it difficult for her to seek help. But as she became a mother and began reevaluating her values, Jill recognized the need to prioritize her own well-being. Therapy has helped her process both the trauma she experienced directly from her brother and the secondary trauma stemming from her family's attempts to minimize or dismiss it. Setting boundaries with her family has been another critical step in Jill's healing. She and Derek made the difficult decision to step away from her parents' influence, opting for independence over continued entanglement in what Jill has described as a controlling environment. This has been a powerful way for Jill to process the pain of her past and establish a healthier, more balanced life for her family. Though the process has been far from easy, Jill has expressed gratitude for the freedom to make decisions independently, outside the sphere of her parent influence. For someone raised in the public eye, processing is never as private as it might be for the average person. Jill, along with her siblings, grew up under the watchful eye of cameras, initially with 19 kids and later counting on. Public interest has not waned, and in many ways, it has intensified as the Duggar family has faced controversy. Jill is well aware of the expectations fans and critics place on her, and that awareness has added an extra layer of complexity to her emotional journey. Jill has mentioned that learning to shut out external voices has been essential to her healing. She admits that while the support from fans is sometimes comforting, it can also feel overwhelming. People have opinions about how she should feel, how she should react, and what her loyalty to her family should look like. Jill has learned to trust her own voice and not allow the weight of expectations to dictate her path. This has meant, for example, speaking out against the family's teachings and challenging the Duggar brand of faith, which she has hinted enabled much of the repression and silence surrounding abuse in her family. For Jill, processing her trauma means working through the teachings she grew up with and reevaluating what aspects of faith she wants to hold on to and what she wants to leave behind. Jill has often pointed to her husband, Dillard, as her strongest supporter throughout this ordeal. Together, they have broken from Duggar family tradition, forging a new path defined by independence, education, and open communication. Their marriage, according to Jill, has been a source of strength, helping her process difficult emotions and giving her a safe space to express her fears, anger, and sadness. Motherhood has also played a pivotal role in Jill's healing journey. She is determined to create a safe, nurturing environment for her children, one in which they feel free to express themselves without fear or shame. Unlike her own childhood, which was bound by strict rules and expectations, Jill is choosing a more open and flexible approach to parenting. The freedom to shape her children's environment without interference has empowered her to redefine her values and break cycles of control and silence. This journey hasn't been without struggles, but Jill believes that being transparent with her children will help them understand life's complexities. In the past, Jill noted that talking about hard things was discouraged, often labeled as dishonorable or rebellious. Now, she sees open communication as vital for family health, particularly after the trauma she and her siblings have endured. Faith has always been a cornerstone of Jill's identity, but she's come to redefine what faith means to her personally, rather than how it was defined for her by her family. Jill acknowledges that questioning the teachings she grew up with and rethinking what it means to live a life of faith has been a crucial part of her processing journey. She shared that this questioning has at times left her feeling lost, but ultimately, she's found it liberating. Though she may have loosened her ties to some aspects of her family's religion, Jill has retained her belief in God, finding peace in a faith that allows her to ask hard questions. For Jill, faith is now about compassion, kindness, and honesty rather than control and authority. This shift in perspective has been healing, helping her to come to terms with her experiences and to begin letting go of the pain associated with her family's past actions. Jill's story is one of resilience in the face of overwhelming circumstances. The sentencing of Josh Duggar was a painful reminder of the harm he caused, but for Jill, it has also been a moment to acknowledge her own strength and growth. She's learning to process her emotions on her own terms, outside of her family's strict expectations, and in a way that prioritizes her well-being and happiness. For Jill, processing isn't a one-time act, but an ongoing journey. She may never find total peace with what her family has been through, but she's come to terms with that. Through therapy, boundaries, faith redefinition, and the support of her husband and children, Jill continues to carve a path forward, a path defined by her values, choices, and newfound sense of freedom. In her own words, it's not about forgetting or excusing the past, but about learning from it, accepting it, and moving forward with strength and hope.